Representative of millage, the general public shall be allowed to address the council, to make comments, and to ask questions. Comments? Anyone want to speak to this?
Good evening, Mayor. My name is Ted Nofkel, and yes, I'll take a stab at your proposed millage. First of all, I would encourage you to slash your millage considerably from 4.95 for a number of reasons. First of all, this budget is full of fat. The biggest area of fat is there's over $1 million in your personnel budget for vacant positions, Mayor. They've been vacant for years. They're not going to be filled. They haven't been filled since your budget hearings ended a month or two ago. They're not going to be filled anytime soon. Over $1 million worth of fat and flub in this budget that could be eliminated, and the taxpayers could see their burden eased at this point. The very fact that there's fat and flub, you can just look at your actions in the last several weeks. Now all of a sudden there's money, off-budget money for the Gamble money pit. No limit in sight on what we can spend out there. We're going to build a dock on the creek that not one resident in 10,000 will ever see in their lives. So there's money galore, Mayor. So I would encourage you to cut your budget, cut your millage for that reason. Another reason you could cut it: you made no effort in this budget hearing to look at the true revenues or the true expenses of this city. You spent the last 6 months that the councilman just alluded to looking at $88 million worth of revenue and expenses. Revenues of the city are nowhere near $88 million. They're closer to 65 or 70 million, and the manager should jump in here and correct me at any time. The expenses of the city, well, let's add them up. You got 28 million in payroll, you got another 5 or 6 million in debt service, that takes us to 35, and let's put another 10 million on it for good measure. 45 million is the top expenses you've got here in the city. It's nowhere near 88 million. So the taxes do not need to be anywhere near what you've got established. The last reason I can see for doing it is you made no effort to make a comprehensive understanding of the financial position of this city. You should be starting with the existing position of the city. We're going to add on our expected revenues and expenses, and we're going to arrive at an ending position of the city. You made no effort to understand that in this last budget process, nor have you in previous. If I were to ask you right now, what are the reserves of the city, I'd probably get a silly answer like they're 15%. Well, they're 15% of what? That's a crazy number. And then in fact we find out they're not even 15%. They're probably 20 or 21%. These are monies that belong to the taxpayer, Mayor, not to you guys, and they really need to stay in the taxpayer's pocket. So I would encourage you to reduce your millage, indeed, from the 4.95% to considerably less. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Anyone else?